Hello everyone, I am Ayush Agarwal from ABES Engineering College, and today we'll discuss the concept of PLSQL and we'll understand what are procedures, triggers and cursors in PLSQL, right? So this will be the last topic of the unit number 2 of database management system. In our previous lecture, we have discussed the concept of joins and group by clause with having in SQL. Now, in today's lecture, we'll discuss these three topics in PLSQL, right? So let us start today's discussion. So first of all, what is procedure? So basically, if we talk about a procedure, so it is a function or a group or set of SQL and PLSQL statement that perform a specific task. So basically, just like a function in any other programming language, we use procedures in procedural query language, right? So if we talk about this particular statements, now, let's suppose we have a procedure and it has a header and a body. So basically, procedure is divided into two parts. We have a header and a body. The header consists of the name of the procedure, and the parameters or variables that will be passed to the procedure. So this will be covered under header section. And in the body section, it will consist the declaration section, execution section, and exception section if possible or if applicable, similar to which we have in general PL or SQL block, right? Now, we have understood that we have two basically a section in a procedure. One will be a header and one will be a section. Now, there are some parameters we have used here in PLSQL. First of all, we have in type, other we have out type, and last we have in out type. What does it mean? It means that just like in a function, we are passing some parameters. So in this in type, this type of parameters are used to send values to the stored procedures, right? So it is a input type parameters, right? Second, we have output type variable. It means these type of parameters are used to get values from the stored procedure. So this is similar to the return type in function, right? So this is the input type, this is the output type. If we need to send values or if we need to provide input to the procedure, so we will use this input type or in type parameter. And if we want to get some values from the procedure, so we will use output type parameter. And if we want to perform both the operation, we want to send some input to the function or procedure and we will get some values from the function, then we'll use in out type. So it will perform both the operation in type and out type. Now, let us discuss the syntax of this procedure now or a function. So basically, this will be a syntax. First of all, we use create or replace. This means that if any procedure already has been created, so it will replace that. Otherwise, it will create a new particular procedure. Now, create procedure we need to provide, and then we need to provide the procedure name, right? Now, next we need to provide the argument, and after that we need to provide the parameter type. Basically, it be a input type, output type, or in out type, right? After that, we need to provide the data type, just like we will pass the parameter to the function, right? So create procedure and then procedure name with the arguments, with the type of parameter and with the data type, right? Now, uh, you can see that this will be your header section, right? After that, this is operator is used, and after that, this will be your body section. So this will be your header section and this will be your body section. And we have already discussed that under body section we have declaration section. Under declaration section we'll provide the variable, or if we need to initialize as any variable or constant, we need to provide here in declaration section. After we begin the procedure and begin the procedure, under this we need to provide the execution section, what this procedure needs to perform, right? Just like a function body, right? So this will have a execution section. And after that we need if exception, if any exception handling is required for that particular procedure, so we will use this exception section. And after that, here we will provide the exception here. And after that, we'll provide this end operator. It means that the procedure will be ended here. So before starting before starting our procedure execution section, we'll start with the begin keyword, and after all the functions of this particular procedure will be completed, we'll and with this end operator. Let us understand with the help of an example here. So basically, there are two ways to perform or to execute a procedure. First of all, from the SQL prompt, we need to provide the execute or exec procedure with the procedure name, and within another procedure, simply use the procedure name, and after this you need to provide the procedure name. Let us understand with the help of an example here. Now, what we need to do, we need to create a table named employee having two columns, ID and salary, with number data type, right? So we need to create a particular procedure which will create a table, and that table has two columns. One will be ID and another will be salary, and we need to insert rows into that particular table, right? So here we have created this procedure. uh, so basically, if we talk about this procedure, so create, first of all, we need to create this procedure with the help of this create command, or replace. So basically, this or replace, I have already informed or told you that if any procedure with this P1 already exists, so it will replace that procedure with this new procedure, or else it will create a new procedure, right? So create procedure. Here we have provided the procedure name P1, and here we have provided two parameters here, because whenever we need to insert any particular row into that table, we need to provide the values, and we have two column here for ID and salary. So first of all, we have provided ID, and this will be a input type, because I have to provide the value to the procedure, right? And this will be the data type for ID. Secondly, we have salary as the second column, and this will be again of input type, and the data type we have used here is number, right? Now we need to start the begin section. Under begin section, we have already understood that we need to provide the execution section, and what we need to execute here, insert statement, same as we have provided in the SQL. Insert, then in insert, then into, then we provide the table name, and then values, and then these values will be provided. Now here, in the case of procedure, what will be this ID and salary? Whenever we execute this procedure, we need to provide the value of ID and salary. So this will be the ID and the salary value will pass to this operation, and these values will be inserted into the table named as employee, right? And after that, whenever this procedure will execute, so whatever what if anything we want to print on the screen, so here we need DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. This will be the this statement will be used to print anything on to the screen, and what we need to insert, that value has been inserted, right? So after that, after creating that, but after applying that particular procedure, we need to save that particular procedure as well. So we need to save with the extension .sql, right? We need to save the procedure with the name SQL, right? How it will be run? So run SQL command line, and after SQL command line, we need to start the server output on. So we need to provide this line that set server output on. In this way, we need to start our server for creating the procedures and working on the procedures. After that, we need to execute this particular program, or which we have created here, and where we have to where we have stored here. So we need to provide the keyword start, and then the path name where we need to where we have stored this program, right? Now, after executing this particular statement, this will be the output we need to execute, right? So here we have procedure created. After executing this line, our procedure has been created, right? And what we have done in our procedure, or the execution section, here we have insert the values into the table named as employee. Now, here we see that our procedure has been created. Now, what will be the step to execute the procedure? So, while executing the procedure, we need this exec keyword with the procedure name, and these procedure will accept two values. We have already seen that ID and salary. ID will be 2 and salary will be, let's suppose, 5,000. So whenever we execute this statement, so the output we get as value inserted, because in this example we have shown that if this step will execute successfully, then this will be printed onto the screen. So after you execute this statement, this value inserted will be print onto the screen, right? And you can check also whether the values has been inserted into the procedure or not. While executing this statement, you need to run the select statement or select command to execute or to display the output of the table, or to display the rows of the table. So if I run this command, so we'll get ID and salary as two employees, two columns of the table named as employee, and here we have one value, one row. Here ID is 2 and salary is 5,000, right? So in this manner, in this fashion, we'll need to create the procedure, and we need to execute the procedure. Now every time we not required to no, start the value of the function, and or every time we do not need to use the insert statement again and again. Just we need to execute the procedure, and with procedure we need to provide the values, and it will automatically inserted into the table. So in this fashion the procedure will work. Now, secondly, we have triggers in SQL. So basically, if we talk about triggers, so these are the SQL statements that are automatically executed when there is any change in the database. So these are triggers. So basically, these are the group of statements, group of SQL statements that automatically executed, right? Whenever there is a change in database, and these triggers are executed in response to certain events. What are the events here? Insert operation, delete operation, or update operation in a particular table. So for example, whenever I insert any particular row, I need something to perform to change in the database. So I need to create that trigger for that particular process. So whenever whenever I will insert a particular row, that trigger will be executed, and that the execution of the triggers will be performed, and the change will be done in the database. Now, these triggers helps in maintaining the integrity of the data by changing the data of the database in a systematic fashion. Let us discuss with the help of an example. Let us first discuss the syntax of the trigger. So first of all, we need to create. We have already understood that whenever we need to create anything, whether it will be in SQL or in PSSQL, we'll start with the create command. So we'll here we'll give create keyword. After that, we need to provide trigger, because we tell the database management system that we need to create a trigger here, and after that we need to provide the trigger name. Now that after, we need to provide this two operators, or you can say these keywords, before or after. What does it mean? It means that whether you need to perform to execute the trigger before any change or after any change, or whenever this point will be discussed, that the triggers are executed in response to certain events. So insert, delete, or update. So whether we need to execute this trigger before the insert statement or after the insert statement, or whether before the update statement or after the after the update statement. So we need to provide here before or after, right? After that, we need to provide the operation which we need to operate, like insert, delete, or update. And then on which table we need to provide the table name here, and for each row, right? And after that, we need to provide the trigger body. Now let us understand with the help of an example here. So suppose we have a table named as a student already, containing the attributes like a student ID, name, address, and marks. So this will be the student table. Now we want to create a trigger that will add 100 marks to each new row of the marks column whenever a new student is inserted into the table. What does it mean? It means that whenever I will insert a new row into this particular table named as a student, so what it will do, what the trigger will do, it will automatically add 100 marks to each new row. To each new row, we'll not talk about the old rows. For each new row of the marks column, whenever a new student is inserted into the table. So what will be the trigger we have to create? So first of all, create, then we need to provide the trigger, and add marks, this will be the trigger name, right? And here we use before, because we need to provide the value. Let's suppose we need to provide the new, or we need to add a new row, let's suppose 4, and here we need to provide the name, let's suppose B, and here we need to provide, let's suppose, address 1, and let's suppose here we need to provide the value 200. So before inserting this value, we need to add 100 marks into it and then insert into this table, right? So here we provide the before keyword, right? Now after that, what we have to do? Insert, delete, or update. Here we need to insert statement. So insert is statement will be used. After that, on to which table? On to student table. Now for each row, yes, for each new row, we need to perform this trigger, right? And what we need to do, we have already seen in the previous example that at the end we need to provide the trigger body. So what we have mark here, set new marks equals to plus 100. It means what it will do, it will check the value of the marks which will be inserted into the student table. So first of all, it will add the 100 marks into it, and then add that particular row into the table, right? So the new keyword, basically, if we talk about this new keyword, this refers to the row that is getting affected. Here we have used this new dot mask. So it means that the row that is getting affected. After creating a trigger, we'll write the query for inserting a new student in a database. So this is the method. This is the method in which we have created a trigger. But now we want to execute the insert statement. So how? The same process, insert into table name, whatever the values we have to provide, name, address, and marks only, right? After that, values, and these are the values we need to provide here, right? Now the student ID column is an auto increment field and will get generated automatically whenever a new record is generated into the table. So we do not need to provide the value of the ID here, right? To see the final output, we need to execute this select statement, select asterisk from student, and we have seen that first 3 rows already have been created before executing this insert statement. And after after applying, or after performing this insert statement, we have provided the value of marks here is 110, and you will get here in this case is 210. Why? Because we have created a trigger here that whenever the insert statement is executed, before insert that row into the table, it will add the marks by 100, and then the value is getting changed, or get inserted into the table. So this particular new row is being created with the help of trigger. Whenever the value is given for the marks, the marks will be incremented by 100. So this is the procedure in which the triggers will work. Now, next we have cursors in PL SQL basically. So if we talk about SQL, so whenever DML statements are executed, temporary work area is created in the system memory, and it is called cursors. So whenever DML statements like insert statement, delete statement, update statements, whenever these are executed, so a temporary work area has been created, and it is called a cursor, right? Now it can have more than one row, but processing wise only one row is taken into account. So a cursor can have, or may have more than one row, but at the same time, or at a time, only one row is taken into that account. And I have already told you that these DML statements onto this are working is update statement, insert statement, and delete statements. Now in PLSQL, there are different two type of cursors we are using. Here we have implicit cursors and explicit cursors. So let us discuss one by one here these. So first of all, we'll explain explicit cursors. So basically, these are defined by the programmers to have more control area on the context area, right? So it will be defined by the programmers. How? We'll see that. Basically, it has to be defined in the declaration section of the PLSQL block. So whenever the cursor or explicit cursors are defined, so it will define in the declaration section. Usually it is defined on a select statement and it returns more than one row as the output, and we can iterate over the rows of data and perform the required operations, right? So first of all, we'll see how this work. So basically this will be the cursor declaration for initializing the memory. How it will do? It will do as cursor, then we need to provide the cursor name and then is keyword. After that we need to provide the select statement. So select required fields mean the columns of the table, then from and then table name. So in this fashion we declare our cursor for initializing the memory. What will happen for cursor opening to allocate the memory? So basically we need to open the cursor. So open keyword will be used with the cursor name what we have provided here, right? Now next we have cursor fetching to retrieve the data. How will fetch the data? So for this we need to use the keyword fetch, and we need to provide the cursor name what we have provided here, and after that into and then respective columns. What will be the respective columns? We need to provide the column name here. So these will be fetched from the cursors, and after that we need to close our cursors, right? So in this fashion with the close keyword we need to close the allocated memory which will be allocated to the cursor. Now let us take an example here for explicit cursor. Okay, so first of all we need to provide this declare section, and under this declare section we need to provide the column name, right? How we can provide? So this will be the employee ID, where employees dot employee ID at percentage type. So this will be the syntax to declare a particular column into the cursor, right? So if what it will do, it will create a employee ID as the column name. Here next we have employee name. We will provide a column name where employees table may and into dot employee name ampersand type. So it will create a employee name, and similarly we have created employee city. Okay, now we open the cursor with cursor, and here we have provided the cursor name and then is. Now we have provided the select operator because we need to select the values from the employee. So select employee ID, employee name and employee city, which we have declared here from the employee table, right? Now we start with the begin section. So in begin section, first of all, we need to open the cursor. So open with the cursor name. Now we start the loop here, and how to fetch the information? We need to fetch with the fetch keyword. What after fetch? We need to provide the cursor name into what values? EMP ID, which we have given here. You can see which we have given here, right? Okay, so into employee ID, into employee name and into employee city, right? Exit whenever we want to exit, or when this cursor will exit. So it will exit when see employees, it means the cursor ampersand not found. Does it mean? It means that whenever we will not found any particular row into the from the table, so it will exit from the cursor, right? And after that DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. This will be the function which can be used to display the output in PLSQL. And what will be the what we need to provide here? EMP ID. After concatenation, we need to provide the employee name. After concatenation, we'll provide the employee city. And after that, we have started the loop here. So we need to end this loop here. And after that, we need to close the cursor here. And this will be the end of the section. Here we have begin section, last we have end section, right? So what will be the output here? This will be the output here. We have employee ID, we have employee name, we have employee city, right? So in this fashion, the explicit cursors will work. Now, next we have implicit cursors. Okay, so what does it mean, or what does it will do? So for DML statement, again, implicit cursors are available in PLSQL. That is no need to declare the cursor here. Here we do not need to declare the cursor, and even for the queries that return one row, implicit cursors are available, right? If we talk about implicit cursors. Now, through the cursor attributes, we can track the information about the execution of the implicit cursors. Okay, here we have different type of implicit cursors. First of all, we have ampersand found, then we have ampersand is open, not found, and row count. So what does it mean? First of all, we talk about this is open. This will be okay. So this will be is open attribute for the implicit cursor. So what does it mean? So for implicit cursors, always the result is false. First of all, the if we talk about this is open attribute, so the result is always is false. The reason is Oracle basically closes immediately after executing the DML results. Hence, this will provide the result as false, right? Now, next we have not found attribute. So basically, this will be the opposite of found attribute of implicit cursors, and basically its result is true value for any particular DML statement, whether it will be an insert, update, or delete statement, which affected no rows in the cursor, and by default its value is false. So as we have mentioned in case of explicit cursor, here if we talk about, okay, so here you can see, here we have used ampersand not found. What does it mean? Whenever we not found any row, till then we need to execute, or we need to fetch the rows from the table, right? So this will be the not found of found operator. Okay, now next we have this row count. What does it mean? Basically, if we talk about this particular attribute of implicit cursor, so basically a number of rows affected by the DML statement, that will be insert, update, or delete, are given by this particular attribute, right? And when there are no rows are affected, so this attribute gives 0 as the result. Otherwise it will return a number of rows that has been affected with this attribute of implicit cursors. So this will be all about implicit cursors we have discussed here. So this will be all about procedures and triggers and cursors in PLSQL. So in this fashion, we have completed our second unit of database management system. And these are the references from which we have taken the content and used to record this video. So we have completed our unit number 2 of database management system here. If you think you'll help out to understand the topics which will be covered in unit number 2, and this will help you, so please like and share. Thank you so much.